As I noticed, my past stream was not streaming audio, so I had to restart. I tried to build a bot that is also known as spider crawler. I don't know. But it becomes a beast. Not sure how to tie or control the beast. The programming language Go has a special capability called Go routine, and I became a fan instantaneously. I am new to Go, but I have some access with some kind of AI, and with the help of that AI, I can make some code that works. So I did exactly that. That's how the beast become alive. Just see. For now, let me say something about this beast. This crawler or spider, whatever you say, is generating like thousands of pages and links within a second or within a minute. Like it is wild, but it is tied and controlled. When it was uncontrolled, it was like within a second, it was generating like few millions of links. In first instance, the beast got rogue each and every possible way. My system memory was up full 64 gigabyte. The CPU usage was full. The internet access, the bandwidth was not 100% utilized, but it was bombarded. And within few hours, my internet provider stopped the connection. Like you say, this one is still crawling all those domains and it's links. It is also wild. Like if you see this one, like it is having some kind of millions of data, having domains and rows and columns containing domain names and URLs, and it is getting generated within fraction of millisecond. Let me show you the code first. It is the Go code. As I have understood, each and every Go program has two as a main.go. This is the main.go. Before I dig into this code bases, let me explain some other aspects like what I will share today. I will share my experience about this project, why I had to create a bot that is the backbone of search engine, what is my past experience, why you should or you should not try yourself, and regarding this, what are the privileges and benefits of using other languages like Python, C, PHP, Go. By the way, I have finalized with Go for this project. Along with that, I expect you will learn something and you will have some experience within this repository as a free and open source on GitHub and Silicon Git, so that anyone can have it, take a look at this and create their own. See, the program has started and it started really fast. Let me show you the results again. Right now this number is this. Let me increase the font size. And what about the all those unique domains? Right now it is around 476,000 and the secondary number is 947. What if I just refresh right away? It gone 506,000. See, within a second it gets thousands of unique domain. Like whenever you are searching for domains, you will eventually get repeated domains. This program is clever enough to sort out all those uniqueness. That means by default, this SQL table is having uniqueness, so that no matter what you do, you cannot store multiple entry of a same domain. So see, this is the primary and unique. Plus, I have decided to make the secondary referral domain to unique. That is because it was going so wild, like it was getting more than few thousand domains within a second. So I had to do this. There are other mechanism I had to follow so that this crawler becomes so soft. By the way, this crawler respects robots.txt. If you don't know what is robot.txt, it is like suppose gsmarina.com or siliconpin.com slash robots.txt. If I go, like it is allowing all those bots every page to crawl or get each and every information. But in some cases like GSM Arena slash robots, you see they disallow all those URL paths. It is a must you respect that piece of robots.txt. So there are so many mechanisms. Like first you will have to respect the robots.txt. Second, you will have to respect the interval times. Like you do not hit a server very often so that the server get crashed. All those mechanisms I already have implemented. Still it is going wild. From the birth of the internet, the crawler, the bot or the search engine, all those existed before Google. Like nowadays each and every one of us like to think that Google is the only search engine, but there are Baidu, there are Bing. Yes, Bing is also a quite powerful search engine. There are Yandex and others too. But in the early 1900s, there were very few. Like in 1993, the first crawler called World Wide Web Wanderer that was clever enough to go through each and every domains. In fact, that is the first crawler. Later on 1993, Jump Station. After that, 1994, Web Crawler. By the way, the term web crawler was introduced by Loikos. Later on, the standard of search engine called Alta Vista came around 1995 when Windows 95 was there. By the way, back then the web was very much controlled by one single company, like gaming operating system distributor company, very niche company. That was the market leader of the internet, and AOL becomes eventually the king. Later on, AOL also get down. By the way, on 1998, Backrub was introduced by Googlebot. Early 2000s, Google become the most efficient one. But I remember on 2004 2005 when I started using internet, I used to use Yahoo, even for the search and email and other purposes. But eventually, I started using Google search. Why? Because Google search was light. It would have taken like 10 or 15 seconds only to open the Yahoo front page itself. On that day, it was like, it was not even 2G, 3G, it was not even Edge. It was really a 2G GPRS internet was there on my phone or was there in my system. Before that, I had to use rotary dialer and 56 kbps modem to dial like VSNL, and then I can get to the internet. So those time was very difficult to connect to the internet itself. So there was no room to have extra data. So eventually Google became the first choice of many of us. Later on, day by day, many search engine came and go. I don't want to describe those things. But why someone would want to create their own search engine? Like if you see this program's past, it would work little differently. Let me show you how differently it worked. See, the application has started on the port 8080. Let me show you the application on the port 8080. It is a simple spider that is called Silicon Pin Spider. Okay, let's add CICD hosting.com. Let's add srichaitanya That is an academic website, and I had to do some crawling, not because I want to make some data availability. All those data are within me, but I need that because all those links I need to have in one place. See, it has started crawling all those data, and it is also streaming live what data they are getting and what are the other domains it has found through that domain itself. That means all those linked domains are listed over here. Within few seconds, it got like crashed. Why? That is because first let me stop that one. I'm not sure how do I stop this. Control C will not work. By the way, I have implemented this Control C over my later on implementations. Let me close that thing first and see how much of data it has gathered. It is 9.3 gigabit of data it has gathered. Let me show you apps. Within the apps, there are only two SQLite database, and within domain, you will see how many domains it has gathered within few seconds. See, that is the reason why I needed a limitations or a tie to that crawler so that it do not become a beast, so that it do not aggressively get all those domains and domain informations. Although I already have implemented crawler delay, still see those are the like, this is 4 KB, this is 32 KB, this is 4 KB, 48 KB. Like this domain must have a long list of web pages. That is the reason why it is 48 KB. By the way, if you add few KB and get 9.3 gigabit, that means it is out of your control. And I just seen that my Gopi operating system. By the way, I am using Gopi operating system. It is the best operating system, like for developers, for business uses, and for learners. And my operating system disk is nearly full, so I must remove those data. Later on, what I have decided, like, let's save all those data into a remote database server. Like, I can host a remote database server on Silicon Pin, like, very cheap, by using their services. They provide various hosting services along with database providers. So I choose a database service from them, and I have connected their database server, and still it is working very fine. Very fine, the word would not be like sufficient. Like, it is working out of control, and I need some more granular control to control that spider so that it do not burst itself. See, whenever you deploy the crawler, you provide a initial domain, like search this domain, and the crawler is smart enough to follow each and every link, and that site has some reference from other domains, and it will get to that domain, and it will follow all those things. That is the reason why it is called spider. There is a fine difference between spider and crawler and bots. Like, bots also gets all those page data, and search engine is far away. Like, the second step you get all those data, the fourth step you get those data crunched into some kind of vector database so that you can relate the real meaning of those pages. Later on, you decide and implement some logic and algorithms, like even what you search for a content, what are the relevant information the website will provide. By the way, day by day, the relevancy of search engine is getting worse day by day. Like, if I search Rajnandini, Raznandiri, Restaurent. Suppose I am searching for a restaurant. It is giving me regarding those restaurants. Along with those, you will get, eventually it is not showing some advertisement and other suggestions, but in most of the cases, like if I search 3060 12 GB from Loknath computer, I will get a ton of advertisement. See, I am searching for a specific thing from a specific provider. I should see only this one. But why all those things? All those things are literally not related to my search. Still, so many search results along with 8 pages. That means it would have been more than 100 entries. Why those are irrelevant informations along with those sponsored advertisement? Like, I would like to have a paid search engine that I'll pay for. And what I search, the search engine is clever and honest enough to provide only the information I search for. That is the reason why someone can reinvent the wheel, like reinvent the Google or reinvent the search engine, so that the search engine itself becomes much more useful to the users, and the search engine do not rely their benefit from users personal data. So those are the reason you can try to make a search engine for yourself. I'm pretty much sure that this search engine will not be a huge hit. There is no chance. But eventually, I will learn and experience some new technology, some new programming languages, and I will have some new ideas. That is the reason why I love tinkering. If you are interested, let me know. I will provide all those informations, all my experiences, along with those source code. Those source codes are, by the way, hosted on Silicon Git. If you want, I can host that one to GitHub or somewhere else. Let me know if you are interested. Is there anything left to discuss? So what about Python, C, Go, PHP? Yes, this one is created on Go. Let me give you some preview of this Go application. Initially, it was a single file having like thousands of lines, more than thousands of lines. Later on, I have implemented some improvement, like in this case, master. This master branch is having, I'm not sure what is the exact word for that in English. Whatever it is, the code, like it is the main.go, and it is getting helped by broker, especially for the server side events, as I have already shown over here those important informations like regarding the follow-up domains and the server side events, that is called SSE. This is the main crawler, and I'm sure there is something called robots.txt. It will respect each and every domain's robots.txt. This is MariaDB. Like I said, I have already updated it to use MariaDB. Eventually, I have found like if I use SQLite, it would easily consume whole my system. So I have switched to MariaDB from Silicon Pin. By the way, they provide easily hosted solutions for each and every application, database, etc. You can try it out. Database SQLite. Eventually, still I am using two database for SQLite. One is for the application itself, another is for blacklisted domains. Like there are some domains I don't want to scrape, and there are some domains they don't want you to scrape. So it's better to have those information ready. Like you see, if I go and open the skip domain list, you see google.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google Tag Manager. Like those are common domain listed on each and every website. So you don't want to mess around those domains. If you mess around those domain, you will get F up. That means freedom up, not up. Okay, what next? Still, I am relying on those two database table in SQLite. Rather than that, all those data I am streaming into Silicon Pins hosted MariaDB database. Why I did not choose Oracle SQL? Because it is not open source. Why I did not use MySQL? Because MySQL is also bought by Oracle. The only option I have is MariaDB. That is the reason why I used MariaDB. And SQLite is like in public domain. Each and everyone is welcome to use that. So I used SQLite, and Go, it seems very much efficient in terms of like memory performance, each and every aspect. Like let me explain some my previous experience regarding these type of projects. In my previous company, DWD Consultancy Services, I have implemented some kind of similar implementation, but it required multiple system to be on the same time. Like it would create another thread on C programming that will be responsible to fetch all those links regarding the domain. What about the database? For the database, there was a different dedicated system was used to handle those database. So more or less 5 or 6 systems had to be on only to run that only one single piece of application. Right now I can use that system, but I thought I am having very small needs and I need small tools that can be run on a single system, like within few gigabit of RAM. That was the reason why I started this program, and thankfully there are so many free and open source model that is quite powerful enough to help you with writing a ton of codes. Even if you understand or don't understand, better you understand those codes, because if you don't understand granularly, you will not be able to direct the AI what to do. It is a like chicken and egg situation. Like if you don't have the experience, you will not be able to guide the AI. That means eventually you will have to learn each and every bits and pieces. When you learn all those things, it becomes easier to handle all those helper tools. I called those AI programmer helper tools. Those can help you write code, but you are the master. You will have to. So that is for today. I will share those codes and each and every experience. Bye for today. See you tomorrow.